What's up, guys? Thank you for coming back into my video. Today I'm going to walk you through how my sales funnel made me more than $200,000 in 2026 and how you can replicate it. So stay until the end of the video. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you want to see more video like that, and I'll see you on the other side. So guys, let's dive right into it. I'm going to share with you the exact funnel that made me $200,000 step by step. So when you run Facebook ads, you have three options, right? You have the lead form option, you have the landing page option, you have the landing page / booking page option. Let's start with, the good thing and the bad side on each one of them. So lead form, the way it works is very simple. Basically, it's going to look like this, right? People going to come from Facebook, they're going to get a lead form. So what's good with this, there's not that much friction, right? When you do a lead form, you want to have maximum 2-3 qualifying questions because you don't want to create too much friction. You do a lead form when you try to get as much lead as you can. When you go, in numbers, this would be for construction companies. This might be for, healthcare. This might be for, whatever niche that wants a bunch of volume and, that have the setters in place or the AI in place to call every single one of them. Then after that, what you want to be doing, you want to send them into a booking page. So you can send them straight into your calendar and make sure that when you send them into your calendar, they are only allowed to book an appointment 72 hours in advance maximum. Because after 72 hours, the show up rate drop by 60%. So if you don't want your show up rate to drop by 60%, make sure that you only allow them to book an appointment 72 hours in advance, right? And the most important thing that you want to have is the speed to lead. So speed to lead right here, right? You want to make sure when the lead comes in, you or your setter call them straight away. You could be doing whatever. You could be kissing your wife or whatever. Please stop doing that and go call the lead straight away. Because if you don't call in within 5 minutes, you're just losing your money, right? So with that, obviously, we're going to have SMS reminders and email reminders to remind them to show up to the appointment, right? So again, a lead form will look like this, right? Usually on the lead form, you're going to have the name, you're going to have phone number, email, again, to qualifying question. Are you a home remodeling owner? How much job are you getting per month? Where would you like to be? Whatever, qualifying question that make them an actual qualified lead. And make sure that you have an introduction, right? So this used to be mine. For roofing and solar home reno pro, fill out the form below to see if you didn't qualify for a guarantee install system. We use AI to generate consistent high quality lead, and you only pay once installer secured. No upfront fee, no fluff, just install. This is only for established business looking to grow fast, right? So make sure you have a headline like this, right? So this is the first step. You can have a lead form, but the main problem with the lead form is since there's not that much, confrontation, there's not that much friction, you're going to get a bunch of leads, but a lot of them are not actually going to be qualified or they're not going to remember you, right? Which is why you want to call them as fast as possible. But in this case, even with the lead form, a lot of them are not going to be qualified, unfortunately, right? So this is the first type of, form that you can have when you do your Facebook ads. The second one actually brought me so much money. I only stopped it at the beginning of 2026 because we found something way better. But if you only have a landing page, when I'm talking about a landing page, I'm talking about something like this, right? You have your headline, solar and home remodeling business owner, get up to 100 new install job opportunity using AI or your money back guaranteed, right? Completely done for you, 100 qualified appointment or you don't pay. And then you just go ahead and, you get straight right into it. You ask them all the qualifying question that you need. What type of business do you have? I asked a question because I was working with solar and home remodeling company at that time. What type of business do you have? What is X? What is X? So whatever question. And this one, what's good is you don't need to be shy. You can ask them 5, 6, even 7 qualifying questions. And then once you actually, once they actually answer all the questions, you send them straight into the booking page. So the difference between, that and this one is they're not going to have any pre-filled questions, such as, name, full name, email, number, stuff like that. They will have to write everything manually. And this make all the difference because first of all, because they did it and it took them, 1 or 2 minutes, they're gonna remember you, they're gonna remember doing it. And since there's much more friction, unqualified leads, people that are not that serious, will not move forward and take action. Sometimes they will, don't get me wrong, but most of the case, it's not gonna happen. You mostly gonna have a bunch of qualified business owner coming into that page, filling up everything. And once you do it this way, I don't know why, but we've seen on the data that with this one, compared to, the lead form, we usually get a 30 to 40% booking rate with that landing page, which is actually very, very good. Because remember, in that case, what's going to happen is if they don't go ahead and book an appointment, your seller will have to call them and book them into an appointment. So versus that one, at the end, you get a 30 to 40%, booking rate on this landing page. So again, 5-6 qualifying question, you send them to the booking page, you allow them to book 72 hours in advance maximum. I cannot tell you guys how important it is to not let them book, 7 days in advance, 14 days in advance, because you guys are just wasting your time. After 72 hours, right, you have a 60% chance that the person will not show up. So to keep your show up rate high, we want to make sure that we only allow them to book 72 hours in advance, right? Good. And then again, we send them to something I call a testimonial page. So a testimonial page is a page where you have a bunch of testimonial, right? Either for your business, either for, other client that you work with. You want to have a page where there's only testimonial. That way you reinforce the decision. The closer framework of Alex Hormozi, the last one is reinforce their decision, right? The closer one or reinforce their decision. This is why you have the testimonial page. You want to make them realize, perfect. I answered all those questions. I booked an appointment. I feel like I've made the right decision because there's a lot of testimonial there. And if you don't have a testimonial, it's okay. You can just skip that page. It's not that important, right? And then again, you want to have the SMS reminder, the email reminders for the appointment, and obviously you want to have the speed to lead. Without speed to lead, you don't have nothing. You don't call them as soon as you can. It's literally the most important thing. When you have a new lead come in, you want to make sure that you call them as soon as possible. Even if they book an appointment. If they book an appointment, hey John, thank you for booking an appointment with us. I wanted to tell you that, we're doing XYZ. We want to make sure that, you're in front of your computer. Are you going to be able to make it? And, if you want to send them a couple of resources, I'm going to send you XYZ video. Make sure you watch it before the call. That way it's important, right? So yeah, this is the second funnel. Made me a lot more money, but the last one that I'm going to share with you guys, it's actually a secret. I'm not supposed to share it with you because I'm currently using it. It's so powerful. It made me more than $200,000 in 2026. And we are only in August, which is absolutely crazy. Anyway, so let's go ahead, right? So this one is a little bit more tricky. Why? Because this is a landing page, just like booking page. What is the difference between a regular landing page and a booking page? With the landing page, they go ahead, you qualify them, then they book an appointment at the end. With the booking page, it's actually the opposite, right? They come in our page right here, right? They come in our page, they see our offer, then they get to choose what time they want to book their appointment, then we qualify them. You see the difference? We don't qualify them first. We want to make sure that we secure the appointment, then we qualify them. A lead will not count if they do not choose a time slot for their appointment. So the difference between those two funnels is that now we're not only looking to get leads, we're looking to get appointments. And when someone is willing to go ahead, book an appointment, then answer 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, more qualified than that, it's almost impossible. Right? A more qualified leads will be someone that after I've watched your full YouTube account. So with that, we get a very, very, very high show up rate, but also closing rate, because when someone come into your funnel and they go ahead, book an appointment, right? They schedule their appointment, obviously within 72 hours, of the day of they decide to book the appointment, it's a no-brainer. They qualify. They're here. They are serious homeowners, right? Even if you receive one per day, once every 2 days, they are so serious that your chance of closing them, if your offer is good, if your sales process is good, if your closing is good, you are going to close them. You are going to close them. There is literally no reason for you not to close them, right? After that, as them 5-6 qualifying question that you see that we have right here, then we send them to something called a pre-call page. So a pre-call page is basically a page where after booking the appointment, after being qualified, we send them there to tell them what's the next step, right? And what we usually like to do, and the pre-call page is very simple. Let me do a little square right here. So in the pre-call page, number one, we like to handle all the objection, right? So we handle the objection before even they jump on a call, right? How much does it cost? How much time is it gonna take? Is it really working? How many clients did you have? Whatever objection that they have. And the way we know what objection to film and what to say is based off, our past client. If you don't have any client and you're just starting, make sure you can just go see whatever competitor that you have in your market and see what they have, right? So we handle their objections, right? We also tell them, before even handling the objection, we actually tell them what are the next steps, right? So next steps. We tell them, okay, perfect. Thank you for booking the appointment. The next step is XYZ. If they have to consume whatever video, make sure you watch this video. If they have to fill up a form, make sure they fill up the form. Basically, we just tell them the next step. We guide them to the next step. We don't ask them, hey, do you want to do the next step? We just guide them through it naturally. And then after handling the objection, we make sure that they accept the appointment. We make sure that they accept the appointment, because when you accept the appointment, someone could book an appointment and never have it in their Google Calendar. They will just have it in their Google Calendar. They won't have it. They won't even see it. But once they accept the appointment, now it's going to show up on their schedule and they're going to actually remember you. So we tell them, hey, accept the appointment. And usually they do it. We told them the next steps. We handle all their objections. They accepted the appointment. Now we go ahead and we send them to the testimonial pitch. We reinforce their decision of actually, moving forward and booking the appointment with us. So now they already, they have no reason not to show up to the call. They know what the next step. We handle our rejection. They accepted the appointment. And now we show them, hey, most of the clients that we are working with have very good results. You need to show up into that call. And if you see, we don't tell them it's a call. We tell them this is not a sales call. We'll show you how to generate more solar install consistently. So they're not even jumping into a sales call. The appointment is not to sell them on something. It's to actually educate them on how to get more sales, how to get more appointment. They decide to move forward with us. Good. We're going to be able to help them. Even if they don't decide to move forward with us, they are still coming up with very good information on how to make more money, how to get more appointment for their businesses. So right after that, obviously we have a speed to lead. I have a team of setters and AI voice setters that will call the lead as soon as it comes in to make sure that, we show up to the appointment, to make sure it is in front of his computer and that is ready for the call. Yeah. Then right after that, we have SMS reminders, email reminders for the appointment, and we have the AI voice reminders, and this make all the difference. I know I made a mistake here. This make all the difference. Why? Because 1 hour before the appointment, we have our AI voice agent calling them and tell them, hey, we have an appointment. Are you going to be able to show up to the appointment? And then on the sales call, we tell them, hey, by the way, the person that called you, the first time and before the appointment was actually an AI voice. So we are using what we are actually selling you. So now it literally has no reason they're not working with you, because not only you enforced their decision, you handle all their objection advance. They just coming to the sales call just to be sold, just to start working with you. So guys, this is, my secret funnel that made me more than $200,000 in the year of 2026. As we're talking right now, we're in August. We're not even done yet. So guys, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the other side.